likes my gifts, no matter what the surprise is. I don't know why no one ever likes my gifts. I pick out a present that I think is pretty neat. The underwhelmed recipient asked if I saved the receipt. I don't know why no one ever likes my gifts. Unwrapping loses luster once you can tell your present's lame. The secret Santa's sorry that I ever drew your name. I don't know why no one ever likes my gifts. All I wanna do is bring joy like all the rest. Some extra cheer this time of year. I really try my best to try and find that perfect something to make one's spirits lift. But that twinkle dies inside their eyes when they unbox my gift. I look to see what's trending, what's 5 stars on Amazon. I'm not thrifty with my spending, still my choice inspires yawns. I don't know why no one ever likes my gifts. My body grows so tense as they reach beneath the tree. Their smiles all disappear when the card says it's from me. I don't know why no one ever likes my gifts. All I wanna do is bring joy like all the rest. Some extra cheer this time of year. I really try my best to find that perfect something to make one's spirit lift. But that twinkle dies inside their eyes when they unbox my gift. I don't know why no one ever likes my gifts.
That song, it's a Christmas song, believe it or not, is I don't know why nobody ever likes my gifts.
If you like that, folks, there's a whole new album of songs just like it on 9 Fine Tennessee Christmas Classics.
That one's weirder than the others, I think. But anyhow, it's just, I ain't got no say in the matter, so what? That's fine, yeah.
We didn't know if it'd come out by Christmas, but it did.
Well, most places it did. Yeah, get on. You came up on Spotify, and it come up on Apples, right? It's not Tunes, it's Apple Tunes, and also Chachis.
So go on over there and get 9 Fine Tennessee Christmas Classics brought to you by 1670 AM W-MURFO. That's the local radio station here in town. It was a free giveaway they got together with Slide a Tray Buffet, and they got some of the songs you've heard over the years from your favorites on the Top 7 at 7 Christmas Countdown with Cubby Free. You've got Across the Street from Rudolph's by Jillian Cherries, The Backwards Christmas Tree by Cubby Free.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I like those.
Behind, Cubby Free talks about them a little bit between each one.
Oh, so you learn a little bit.
I don't know why no one ever likes my gifts, but that's the one we just heard.
Yeah.
Elf Affair by Nuddles and Bushy.
Heard that last week. That's a good one. I like that one, yeah.
Candy Cane Puddles by Nick Primo and his Glue Sticks.
Yeah.
Christmas Hot Sauce by the Hickory Grove Suspenders. You've heard a lot of these songs. Elf Drugs by the Gentlemen Rustlers of the Hazy Glade. Hark the Herald Seagulls Sing by Santa Seagulls and the Christmas Crabs. And Fauci Christmas by Little Cuss and Caden. Those are the songs on 9 Fine Tennessee Christmas Classics. Those are the 9 fines. Get a little talking in between each of those. Brand new. Go listen to it. Go look. If you can't, we just did a search for it that wasn't coming up for us right away. So maybe it's still weaving its way into the search results. I don't have an explanation. But if you can't find it, go to our Twitter, our Facebook, our YouTube, our Instagram. There's links to the album at all those places. I'm sure by the time you hear this, it'll be easy to find. 9 Fine Tennessee Christmas Classic, 1670 AM W-MURFO by various artists.
Now, there's definitely what I call classics out there. Certainly Christmas classics, all sorts of kind, but I don't know where you're going to find 9 Fine Tennessee Christmas classics. That's a category all on its own, but still Christmas music. It's still Christmas music, and we got a whole, about a week. And I know I love Christmas music, so I'll be listening to it, and I'll be listening to other stuff too. You know, listen to Conway Twitty, Twitty City, just all the good Christmas. What's your favorite Christmas, Dunlap, that you listen to every year?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. And I'm sure it's something filthy. Go ahead. But I walked into this. What's your favorite Christmas song?
It Came Upon a Midnight Clear.
That is not your favorite. You don't even know the words of that. Besides the name of it, I guarantee you. You can't go beyond that.
It has came in it.
What?
I didn't know till later it wasn't dirty. But sometimes you get something in your head and you're like, well, it may not be dirty, but I guess I like it.
It's complicated. There's a lot of Christmas carols that I don't care for. I appreciate them because I know, the reason they're there, they're doing the right thing. But a lot of them, the ones that people sing outside with no instruments, I don't like. Pretty much all of them I don't like. But I like it when you got a guitar and a drummer and, words that make sense and you sing about. I like a piano. I like sitting at a piano and playing one too. But when you ain't got nothing, just singing it by yourself or with whoever, 4 or 5 other people, whatnot. I know this called caroling. I know what it is. I just don't personally care for it.
You don't like a cappella music?
Not the songs that they sing. Hark the herald angel, da 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 ba 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 ba. That stuff. And what you say? It kind of down the day. But I need to have more than just them singing it. It's nothing against the singing skills. I like the singing skills. Now, the only person I like, well, they did it, ham bone, you really don't have any instruments, right? That's just you in your mouth and your hands, right?
Yeah. So you like Christmas ham bone?
Well, if there is some, I'm sure I would. I don't know Christmas ham bone at that. Now, who was a man that did the Pink Panther song with his mouth? And it did... I like that, and he did that. Be happy, everybody be happy. I like that one too.
Bobby McFerrin.
That's him. Is he still around? I like him. You said I like acapellas, and he just uses his mouth. He don't use anything else, and he sounds good. I like him. Yeah, I guess that's acapella. But I don't think he does a Christmas album, as far as I know.
I mean, if he hadn't, he's just leaving money on the table.
Well, he needs to. He can do anything. If you do Pink Panther song with just your mouth and it sounds good, you got talent. As far as I'm concerned, that's talent right there. Yeah.
So you don't like Take Six?
Who?
What about Take? I wonder if they thought about suing Reese's when they come out with the Take 5 bar.
What was a Take 5 bar? What was that?
Take 5 bar. That's a good. I think it had a pretzel in it.
But it's still just racy. But I don't want. Yeah, I don't want no pretzel in it.
What's the matter with pretzels?
I like pretzel by itself. Put mustard on it. I like sweets on it. I like salty. The kind you used to get in the mall when you used to go to malls where they used to be malls and have a little, things sitting there. And you're the children giving out, or they don't give them to you, you buy them. But the big pretzels, I like them like that, and I like them just hard in the bag, regular pretzel. I like them like that, but I don't like when you put stuff on it like chocolate or something sweet. I don't care for it.
You have a lot of hot takes. It's really amazing that you ain't on Twitter because you could get so much discourse going.
Well, I don't mean to. Just telling people what I like to eat and what I don't. I don't say how it's any kind of take.
If you got on Twitter, I'd have to get on there so that you come on there and be like, I don't like pretzels in a candy bar, or I don't like a cappella Christmas music. And then I'd get on there right underneath you and be like, who gives a shit?
Hey.
So? Now this is in my head? God damn.
Hey, watch your mouth. Well, that's what you're supposed to do on here is talk about stuff. What am I supposed to do? Keep my opinions to myself? What am I going to talk about on here? I ain't got nothing to talk about except what I know about it. Lord knows I didn't, do research or interviews. All I can tell you is what the hell's off the top of my head, what I know. If you don't want to hear that, then turn it off.
You can do what I do.
I ain't telling nobody that got to listen to this. Is that what Twizzers is? If you got to read it, got to look at it all the time, or else?
Folks, I don't want to derail us. Yes, that is it, pretty much, if you're on there. I just want to read you the product details of the Take 5 bar from the Hersheyland website. The Take 5 bar is 5 layers of sweet and salty goodness. It doesn't ask you to compromise. Well, I'm glad. A lot of candy bars do ask me to compromise. And they say, your life has just been one series of poor decisions and unhappy. There's unhappiness after unhappiness. Why should you expect more out of your candy bar? But the Take 5 bar doesn't ask me to compromise. It says it's crunchy pretzels, smooth peanut butter, salty peanuts, and sweet caramel, all covered in chocolatey coating. Grab this snack the next time you want to mix things up and live a life fully realized. Doesn't say that. What would you be compromised? Like, what are you not compromising?
Well, they tell people like myself, stick it up yours or whatever. Like, because, my compromise, it ain't a compromise. I don't like salty with the sweet. I want separate. I don't like it together. So I make a compromise right there. You forcing me to eat both of it.
Well, I guess it's not forcing you. I guess that's it. It doesn't ask you to compromise.
You either buy it or not. Yeah, that's what I don't know. Yeah, I don't. If I don't want it, it'll lay right there, get dust or whatever. If nobody else likes it, I don't.
I guess that's what the take in Take 5 is for. Take it or leave it.
Yeah. I don't want the 5 for. What the 5 mean? 1, 2, 3, 4. Fuck you. Hey.
The Take 5 bar is 5 layers of sweet and salty goodness. It doesn't ask you to compromise. I guess at Hersheyland, the only thing you could possibly compromise on is pretzels. Anyway, folks, that's the Take 5 bar. Ask Santa Claus to stuff a couple in your stockings if you don't feel like compromising this Christmas. Why compromise at Christmas?
I ain't going to eat this unless I get a pretzel with it. That don't make no sense. That ain't no argument to have.
Sounds like Joe Manchin. The Take 5 bar doesn't ask you to compromise. Good. I'm from West Virginia. I don't compromise. I stick a pretzel up my ass and eat it anyway. I don't give a shit. I live on a boat like Riptide.
Hey.
I don't give a shit about nobody. Parents doing drugs, give them money or not. I don't care. I like being on the news. I'm on the news, boy. Did you ever think that a rich coal fucker like me would be on the news every night with my big ham face? Here I am again.
And if I'm going to be on the news, by God, I'm going to be on the highest rated news channel there is, and that's Fox. Yes, sir.
I told them I wouldn't even go on there if that motherfucker Chris Wallace still worked there. They said, we'll get rid of him.
Hey, watch your mouth.
I said, you ain't asking me to compromise, are you? Because I'll eat a Take 5 bar because it won't ask me to. No, sir, Mr. Manchin. Whatever you say, Mr. Manchin. Right this way, Mr. Manchin. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Has this been going on for 9 fucking years?
Hey.
Was Game of Thrones had it even begun production? I don't know why Game of Thrones come up. I'm just thinking of a TV show that's on a long fucking time. Like, how long was Tom Holland even Spider-Man when we started having to figure out who the fuck Joe Manchin was?
Hey. Watch your mouth. I don't know who Spider-Man was.
And also, who the fuck is Hoppy Kercheval?
What?
Joe Manchin went on. He was on a... Listen, and we're here talking about it. We were having fun talking about candy bars. And then we started talking about Joe Manchin and everything's ruined. Like we had one nice thing, and that was thinking about a Take 5 bar. No matter what you think, Jackie, I'm sorry. You don't figure into this. I was having pleasant taste sensations on my tongue, and now it got all manchinated.
You got a lot in common that you didn't realize with Joe Biden, don't you?
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, Joe Manchin ruined our day, and our tongues don't work. We lost all the feel. In this. Can you feel your tongue? I don't think too hard about it. I can't feel mine. I don't know if it's in there or not. I feel it with my fingers. But if I'm just sitting here, he says, your tongue in your mouth. I say, I don't know. I can't feel it. Biden and Manchin speak after a heated clash over Build Back Better Act. What is that conversation? Like we used to do, we had the same, when Trump was in office, it'd be like Trump and whoever, Mark Meadows, Mark Meadows. He was the one that sneezed, right?
He coughed one time. One of them, it wasn't him, it was one of the others. They went out there, if you sneezed or coughed, you were fired the next day. I think Meadows managed to hang around. He managed to, hold his breath or go outside or whatever he had to do.
Now we're just saying, oh, imagine what this is like because you got Biden in there. Joe Manchin walks in like for hour till he got there. Joe Manchin, Jesus Christ. No wonder kids are upset, striking at McDonald's. So Joe Manchin is on his way to the White House. Joe Biden's sitting there. I'm so mad. I can't believe he did this. Senate, 75 years. We get along. We get together. We talk. Joe Manchin walks in. People are like, what's it? Joe Biden's going to blow his top. What happened? Joe Manchin walks in. Joe Biden says, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Joe Biden. Because he forgot who he was. Yeah. Folks, listen. So they're talking. I keep seeing people on Twitter going, oh, maybe this is still just theater. But it seemed like, well, first, terrible play. It hadn't been a worse play. Lincoln was in office in the last play this bad. Manchin, and it's over, right? For 90 years, Manchin's been blowing shit up. And I thought this was over the weekend. And then people keep saying, well, maybe is it not over? If it's not over, why does Joe Biden have to talk to Joe Manchin? Shouldn't we protect one of them? Anyway, there's a West Virginia radio guy named Hoppy Kercheval. The only make things worse, I could have sworn that was somebody who runs a store just off the square here in Murfreesboro.
Sound like it, yeah.
It sound like it. He doesn't look like a Hoppy. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I pulled up pictures of Hoppy Kercheval on. I pulled up pictures of Hoppy Kercheval on Google Images, and at first I was like, "No, that is not a Hoppy." But I kept looking at the pictures, and now I'm like, "It is. That's a Hoppy if I ever seen one." What's up, Hoppy? Anyway, I guess Joe Manchin goes on his show. It's a West Virginia radio show. It's like bad enough, and then it's Hoppy Kercheval. I wonder what his real name. I'm going to type in Hoppy Kercheval. Jackie, what do you think Hoppy Kercheval's real name is?
I don't know first name about him. I don't listen to West Virginia radio. And Joe,
weird.
He blew it all up. And you got all the squad. They're saying, we told you. You said you're going to take care of this. And sure enough, he didn't. We knew Joe Manchin wasn't going to do it. I don't understand all this. They said, well, let's have the vote anyway. And we'll shame him. And he'll vote against it. And that'll shame. That just gives him 20 more hours on Fox. They just show that down vote over and over and over again. He got a good week on Fox for doing thumb down or however he wants to do it. Well, he ain't gonna shame. He went on Fox News and told Joe Biden to up you know what, and you too. Ain't no shame that I mean.
What do you think Hoppy Kercheval's real name is?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Yeah. Kind of makes sense. Hoppy Vandersloot.
What?
No, it's Harvey Hulbert Kercheval III, and his brother started calling him Hoppy, so he'd make him into a cowboy instead of a West Virginia radio personality. What would you do if you were the Democrats, Biden in charge of the Democrats, Jackie? If Jackie Broyles was in charge of the Democrats, what would you do about Joe Manchin? And you can't hit him. I mean, you can hit him, but it's not going to do much. I mean, we don't know till we try. No, nobody should hit nobody, especially Joe Manchin, because it's just going to put him back on Fox News. And hitting him ain't going to do anybody any good.
Well, first off,
people would have beat the shit out of him a long time ago.
Well, first off, you got to figure out we got to talk. We got to get down to it. You meet in the White House, supposed to intimidate you. Here you are on the West Wing, all that stuff. He's at the Resolute desk and you sitting over. No. You got to meet like just buddies and pals like they're supposed to be. So you got two places to choose. Now, if I'm Joe Biden, where am I going to want to meet? Want to meet him on the train. If you don't match you where you want to meet on the boat. So you got to pick which one. If you're trying to sweet talk him, you say, let's go out on your boat. Because I'm sure he wants to show his boat around. He go on that boat. He'll give you a tour of it. You're talking. You're off on a good foot. So it's just it's your surroundings and how you approach it. I think that's a Jack and Brawl's method of sweet talking somebody.
Yeah, so they got planes. No, they don't have planes. They've got boats and trains. Who has planes?
Well, he got a plane. He got Air Force One. If he want it, he do whatever he want. He got all of it.
Right.
But
he
don't know. It ain't
planes.
like he's on it all the time, like,
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Biden driving a boat?
No. The good thing about him being on the train is, I guarantee you, is that he ain't driving it. He don't get on it to drive a train, he gets on to ride it. He's smart enough to know that. He don't need to be, He looked okay on a bicycle. I seen him on a bicycle once. That's, he looked all right there, I guess. As good as he can at that age on a bicycle. Which one do you think? I'm probably being pretty honest here. We know Joe Manchin's holding it all up, right? Of course, Cinema didn't have a chance to come out and say it. I'm sure she's, I could have gone on Fox. Why'd I let Joe do that? But still, it is what it is. But he got to meet with the two sides one-on-one, right? So who you think Joe Biden dreads meeting with more? Is it Joe Manchin, who he's known for over years, who's close in age or whatnot? Or is it when he has to meet with the House and meet, AOC and Ilhan, all them, the squad? I'm going to say he probably dreads that a little more than he does about Joe Manchin. Not because one wants something more than the other, any of that stuff. It's just he knows how to act, Of course, Joe Biden had trouble over years how he acts around people anyway. Who have I got to mate with? Well, I think it's the squad's coming. Who's coming? Next day. Who's it? Joe Manchin. Joe, send Joe in. He ain't happy to see him, but he happy. You meet with them, all they're gonna say is student debt over and over again. Whether they should or shouldn't, I don't know. How long it been since Joe Biden been to school? Like he cared one thing, anything about it.
Hang on, I see him in one of those gowns like you wear when you graduate. Is that what you used to have to wear, Jackie, when you was a kid to go to school? Like if you went to college, did you have to wear one of them?
I never went to college. No, I never went to college. I wouldn't know. But they used to, college back in the old days, you had to wear a gown. The big furry coats too,
Oh,
they
yeah.
used to do that. That's old time. They don't do that no more.
At leather football helmets. Before that, it was just they'd holler out a cabbage. And by the end of the game, you'd have slaw. That's why they used to call it foot slaw.
Ah.
Jackie, I got somebody else who make odd bedfellers and probably miserable talking at each other and would rather be talking to anybody else. And that's Mr. Trump and Mr. O'Reilly. Trump, if you recall, was president of the United States of America for 4 long years. And Bill O'Reilly was his vice president. I don't remember who that man was.
He was something, I can't remember what it was. He sat in a position somewhere, but then had to leave in disgrace.
That's everybody.
That is at this point. That's what I'm saying. You get mixed up or something. I don't know what he did.
Well, they were giving one of their talks. I don't know what this show is. It looked like they were just sitting on either side of an end table. He's kind of leaning. O'Reilly kind of leaning. He's always like shifting to one side or the other. And I guess O'Reilly asked Trump if he got a booster shot. Trump said he got a booster shot, and they got booed. Then O'Reilly said he got a booster shot, and they booed him again. I think if they just mentioned the vaccine, they got booed. Like, what did they think? They were going to get applause? O'Reilly don't know where he's at.
People have been making bones about this, have been talking about that. They got a show that they go around and do. Well, I mean, it ain't a dancing show. They just sit there and talk, but,
It's not, is it? I mean, I don't know for sure.
I don't know what it is, but it's them two up there talking, sitting in a chair. So, but it's a show, and people say, oh, it ain't selling out. It ain't doing good. Thousands of seats left open, whatnot. And well, that's because I think they charging for this one, right? The Trump show usually free. If you put on free show, you're going to feel, he didn't have, every now and then he had a little trouble here and there when in the middle of a pandemic. But for the most part, he's even did good that. But that's free show. How much you reckon it's going to cost to go see O'Reilly and Trump there together on stage at the same time?
O'Reilly got to eat. He needs that money. But Trump ain't going to let O'Reilly get no money. He ain't getting none of. And I guess Trump needs money too. I don't really know. I guess Trump can just send out an email, saying stop the steal and make a few $1,000.
He like to talk, He want to be up there talking.
Is anybody buying them O'Reilly books anymore? I mean, O'Reilly likes to talk too. So O'Reilly,
well, yeah,
Trump talking to each other. I mean, there's no Hoppy Kercheval. Thank God. I tell you where you want to go see Trump at. Trump has got to be thinking about ditching O'Reilly because Trump goes to church now. That's where he makes a big splash. He went to Sunday. He went to the First Baptist Church in downtown Dallas before he hit the American Airlines Center with O'Reilly. When he got there with O'Reilly, that was a letdown because at the church, he's upstaging Jesus. That's got to make you feel better than upstaging Bill O'Reilly.
Well, yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
The church welcomed, this from the Dallas Morning News, the church welcomed the 45th president. That's still weird to say. With roaring cheers, standing ovations, and carols. I'm assuming that means Christmas carols, but they could have just given him several ladies named Carol from the congregation, of which there are probably 700. Senior pastor sounds like that should be a word. Senior pastor, Dr. Robert doctor about like the one standing up there saying, "Wait, get them horse pills." Dr. Robert Jeffress. I went to Jesus school to learn, and here's what I learned: get Trump in here. And now I'm a doctor. Senior pastor Dr. Robert Jeffress asked Trump to give a Christmas message. Which ended up sprinkled. What did he? I just don't think our ears work the same across this country anymore. Because we read that and we go, oh, Lord, what did he think was going to happen? When we hear Trump's Christmas message, we'd probably laugh and then get real sad. But the people in that church who gave him applause and carols walked out of there going, that was the best Christmas message I ever heard.
It was just about the border, I guarantee you. It's still border. That's it. He can't really talk about much else than that.
He said he briefly mentioned border security.
Yeah.
Inflation, gas prices, and the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, which he called a mess and the most embarrassing day in the nation's history, which was his fault. He also talked about and thanked the military and police, who he said are facing unprecedented crime and looting. After the hour-and-a-half long worship service, Jeffress told the media he didn't think the president said anything overtly political. I think its overall theme that our country is not where we'd like to see it is something. Yeah, that is real. That is like, remember the people used to write in TV Guide, like the synopsis of the TV show? Like, I don't know if this would get them fired or an award. I think his overall theme that our country is not where we'd like to see it is something that many Christians and non-Christians can agree with. There were 3,500 average attendance there is 3,500. They expected 6,000 people Sunday morning.
That's why he knew he's doing a show with O'Reilly later that night, right?
Yeah.
And it probably ain't going to sell out. He said, well, I need to do a free show, fill up church. They going to be talking about me in church all day. They ain't going to be talking to me, Bill O'Reilly, up there. And he better not ask me if I got a booster anymore, or I'm cutting this out, stopping it.
He probably went to church, tried to get Omicron to give it to Bill O'Reilly so he doesn't have to do these shows anymore.
Yeah.
We used to have Bill O'Reilly up here. That was a drag. It was a drag on me. It was a drag for everybody having to watch the show. I'm not glad anybody got COVID. I'm never glad when anybody gets COVID, which isn't real. But in this case, maybe. I'm not saying. But maybe it's We have always said in our church, COVID-19 is real, and it's a real threat, the pastor said. Until today. Today, I've changed my mind about all of that. The reason we felt comfortable assembling here today is that the vast majority of our people have been vaccinated. We believe that, right. Jesus is looking down from heaven going, my ass. We believe the safest way to continue to be able to gather together as a church or together as families is to get vaccinated. Oh, a Christmas message. This is all from the Dallas Morning News, folks. It was 5 takeaways from Trump's morning at First Baptist Church. A Christmas message. Nobody loves Christmas more than Donald Trump, Jeffrey said. He loves Christmas the way the Grinch loves Christmas. It's stuff for him to take. This is something Trump said, the life and death and resurrection of Jesus Christ forever changed the world. It's impossible to think of the life of our own country without the influence of his example and his teaching and his sharpshooting. Trump talked extensively about former First Lady Melania Trump's Christmas parties and holiday decorations.
And nice, yeah.
And what he said was backlash from the media. This is the Christmas message from the media about her choice of tree colors. Our country needs a savior right now, and we have a savior. That's not me. Did he pause for laughs? He must have. That's someone much higher up, Trump said. I don't know anymore, Jackie. I just don't know.
I know I don't.
Jackie, I just don't know. I just don't know anymore. The theme of the message today was Christ-centered. It wasn't centered on the president, and he acknowledged that, Jeffrey said. I know we want to talk about me, but we got to remember there's a man upstairs. But let's talk about Melania's trees. Nothing is Trump-centered. But we should just, why are we even beating around the bush? Let's get rid of all the preachers and just make Trump like America's preacher. And he comes out every Sunday morning and he gives a sermon. And that's part of what he does.
Does he have to be president too?
Yeah, he's not being preacher's not enough for Trump. He would need that, and he'd have to be president.
No,
and he'd probably have a gun.
I don't want it.
I don't want it either. But I mean, at least we'd get rid of a lot of racist preachers. Is that like at least we'd replace all the racist preachers with just this one? I mean, I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just telling you it's coming. Jeffress called Trump a great friend to all Christians and the most consequential president since Abraham Lincoln. Mm-hmm. Well, Jackie, Trump in church.
Yeah.
He loves it there.
He loves it there. I'm sure he talked about his warehouse full of Bibles that he's got somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Just a full of Bibles, nothing but Bibles. And he should bring and hand them out to people. If you got so many, I got too many to take. I can't take care of them. I know you people like them. Here's some Bibles.
Man, he doesn't want to touch all those Bibles.
No, he don't want to. And he'd have to charge for them, too. He ain't going to give nothing away.
But his friend, let's see, what else did we miss, Jackie? I know last week we talked about Chris Wallace and going to the bathroom in heaven. And maybe it's time for us to take our a couple of weeks off because we didn't talk about the Supreme Court and abortion. We didn't talk about the coup PowerPoint. We didn't talk about Liz Cheney and Mark Meadows. We didn't talk about the Fox News text messages to Mark Meadows. We didn't talk about the George Jones movie coming. And we didn't talk about Nancy Reagan's sucking dick. So
hey,
we didn't talk about. I didn't do it. Twitter talked about it.
I don't want to hear about it. They let it stay there on there, not anywhere else. I don't want to see it or hear it.
I'm just telling you what Twitter says.
I don't care.
Like half of traditional media.
If Twizzler's going to say that, then I don't want you to repeat it. You just leave it right on Twizzlers, please.
So those are a few things. The coup. Everybody at Fox News texting, trying to get Mark Meadows to talk to Trump. Why did Trump just have his phone off? Does he have to get somebody? Is there somebody between Trump and his phone? Like, does he text himself or does he have to dictate it to somebody to get it out?
Everybody was trying to get to Mark Meadows to get to him. So I don't know who has a direct line to him. Obviously, none of his children do. When Don Jr. tried to, they would make a big deal of that. Liz Cheney got up there and said, Don Jr. again and again and again texting. That's every day. It don't matter. And no insurrection going on have to be like that. They always trying to get in touch with him one way or another. But if you have to go through Mark Meadows to get to Trump or whoever the hell it is, good Lord.
Listen, I don't blame nobody for not answering Donald Trump Jr. I got a lot of cocaine friends, and they text you about whatever the fuck. It's always like, you watching this? I'm like, what? I don't, what could it could be anything. What are you talking about? Plus, it's 3 a.m. I guess that narrows it down. So never answer a text from Don Jr. or a cocaine friend.
Hey, I ain't going to do it. No, they ain't got my number. Better never get it. No how. I don't know how to text. Things are not going great. I know we've missed some other news too. It does say, I know we're making fun of Trump being at church, but it's also kind of fucking scary. And, it is going to combine, I think, before the next presidential election. Guns, church, Trump. It's just going to turn into the Trump gun church. And everybody's going to be in churches with all their guns. And Trump's going to be on the screen saying, let's get out there and do some real damage. And they're going to go shoot up a bunch of people. And then Trump's going to be on the news saying, do some damage. It's a figure of speech. And there's going to be text come out of Sean Hannity, say, don't tell him to do some damage. Don't tell him to do some damage. And then what's going to happen is nothing. And there'll be giant trucks that spray out black smoke, and they'll be full of Trump gun church people. And we'll all have to wear our red hats. This is in 2 years, folks. So that we don't get shot or beat in the face with the butt of a gun or have a Bible thrown at us. They'll probably start making knife-edged Bibles so they can throw them at people not wearing red hats. I don't know if I'm joking or predicting the future. Thank each and every one of y'all for still listening. If you are, we appreciate you still here with us. after all that mess and after the mess before that and even before that and on and on. So we can't thank you enough for being here listening to us still to this day. It's almost Christmas, Dunlap.
All this mess, and here Christmas comes right on top of it.
Oh, it's a perfect storm of Omicron, getting on an airplane, family fighting, politics. It's all right here now. Joe Manchin on top of it. Let's just get through it best we can. I don't know what else to do.
Too much mess for Christmas, if you ask me.
There's always going to be a little mess on Christmas. Family getting together.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a little mess. Nothing you can do about it.
Sometimes that's a big mess.
It's a bigger mess if everybody ain't been vaccinated. It's going to bring a Omicron to Christmas for everybody else. That's
too
terrible.
much mess. Too much mess for Christmas.
Too much mess for Christmas. I agree. Like I said, we're all prepared for a little mess. It's going to be a little mess.
Sure.
Hell, a medium mess every now and then.
That ain't too hard to get over. I mean, you got to roll up your sleeves and roll up your breeches and roll up whatever. Keep rolling it all up. And then as it gets through that medium mess. But all this mess is too much mess.
Well,
for Christmas,
it is. But I won't tell everybody listening here, and you too, Dunlap. Let's just put the mess aside.
Yep.
We're going to get to it and clean it up. But not, we're going to let it sit there through the holidays. And then we'll go, hopefully, clean it up.
Sometimes, like, if Granny's cats shit on the carpet and you don't want to clean it up, you just put a paper towel on it. And that way you remember you don't walk on it.
Yeah. But plus, after a day or two, it ain't near as messy. Clean up. When it dry up, you just reach down, ball it up, throw it away. But you do it fresh, hot. Nobody wants that. But
that's too much mess. But if you wait, it just becomes
a day or
mess.
two. Let it sit there. Let the animal mess. I guess any animal. It's going to come up a lot easier if you to be patient.
Unless it's sick.
Well, yeah, if it's that
and
kind.
You have a deep pile carpet and it just...
Yeah, you got to do something right away or else then you're in trouble. That's true. But we ain't talking, that's a big mess. We ain't talking about that. We're talking about medium little mess for Christmas. Let's just try to keep it at that best we can. If you're traveling anywhere, wear your mask, wash your hands, same old, I guess, except extra more because Omicron is extra more, they say.
Folks, listen. Everybody's panicked, and everybody's so worried about Omicron. Crunch? Omicron. Folks, everybody's panicked and worried about this. The new variant, Omicron. And that's fun to do. I get it now.
What?
Listen, everybody's so worried about it. And I'm here to tell you, there's no reason to worry about it. Get vaccinated. Get your booster shot. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. Now, when you do all that, you're still going to get this. It's going to burn through you and your family at an uncontrollable rate. And we're not going to know what hit us by this time next week. Is that the message we're trying to get out? Sorry, folks. I just got a new job as head of COVID messaging for the Biden White House.
Now, listen, what you described, we call it breaking through cases, break on through. Now, look, if you vaccinated, got your 2 shots, got your booster, and you're wearing your mask, you can wash your hand, all that stuff, you can still get it. But you're looking at either little or medium Omicron's mess. Whereas if you ain't got nothing, you may be in a big mess. You may be a big mess. Big Omicron mess. If you ain't vaccinated, you get it. You give it to everybody else. That's your hospital in the ground.
You can't put a paper towel over that. You gotta go, folks. If you ain't been vaccinated yet, do it for Jackie.
I don't want to see nobody. I mean, people who like Trump, people that Trump, like you said, saying to get vaccinated, they're booing him. I don't make any sense. You doing everything he says. If I was Joe Biden right now, I'd be making a done commercial out of that. Just him talk about get your booster shot. Well, they should use it. Trump wouldn't mind. He'd like it because his face would be everywhere. He wouldn't mind in the least. You follow everything a man said, worship what he does, but then when no, you remember, you can't do vaccine, remember, because it ain't real and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I don't know why are we talking about it anymore? I'm making
Biden has a private YouTube channel that's just all his favorite commercials from the 60s and 70s.
I bet some of them are ones I'd like to, just because I like.
I'm not making fun of him.
No, I ain't either.
Hey, give me my Filofax. I got Claire Peller's number in there. I got the time to make the donuts guy. I can get him on the phone right now. Too much mess for Christmas, Jackie. And let me tell you, go get vaccinated. Don't let this. Where everybody's going to be fine. Listen, I got a job at the Biden White House. I'm head of messaging. I got a message about gas prices here. They're high now. Yes. The way that they are just blowing up your family finances and budget here at the holidays is, it's just irredeemable. I don't think there's anything we can do to ever make it up to you. But that said, they could go higher. This message brought to you by the Biden White House. We're trying to get those poll numbers to hover somewhere around 20, 25%. That I know that's lower than they are now, but we think that they could go 17, 16%. So we're shooting for 20, 25%, and we think that makes the best out of a little mess. That makes a big mess out of a little mess out of a big mess here at the Biden administration.
I don't want to take anything away from old Jen Psaki.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But you did a pretty good job, I'm going to say. I don't want to take it again. I ain't trying to steal her thunder or nothing like that. She's doing a fine job, but that's pretty good. You did a pretty good job. That worked.
Here's what I'd come out. Why don't you, should we be giving, what about free tests? Should we give free tests to people? Yeah, why don't you shit in one hand and then ask for a free test in the other and see which one fills up faster. Also, fuck you, Deucey. Sack you out.
Hey.
I could do that.
No, I don't want all cussing in it. She don't.
Well, I could be like Dookie in one hand or whatever.
All right, that's fine. I know what that means. Yeah,
I wouldn't say Dookie because I'd get Dookie. You
not everybody says. Everybody on TV now says, "Give him a lot of shit." I mean, they say it used to be a time when like, he don't say it on TV. They say it all day now. They bullshit hockey. I'll say that bullshit. They say it every time on the news. Every time, everybody say that's a bunch of bull. That's just what they talk about. What the other person's saying. They say bullshit. It's just a regular thing now. That had to do with 4 years, saying all sorts of words and whatnot. Just made it.
Yeah. Normal. You think you're going to get out of 4 years of Trump and not have people say shit on TV all the time? I saw it on the weather on Channel 2. Davis Nolan was like, look at this shit.
It's just, I still don't want to say it. I ain't trying to encourage people to say it, but you might as well, because everybody else doing it. So, what do you want to say?
It used to be people do it that like they were trying to be righteous anger. They'd be up there and Senator, I say to you, this is bullshit or whatever. We will put up with no more of this. Now people are listening. Look at this shit.
Yeah, it's regular.
What's this, Omicron? What is this shit?
Yeah.
Well, we're fucked now.
Look, I got enough problems already. I'm already in a big mess. We'll get into my sponsor here in a minute. It's sort of my sponsor, but I'm also asking for help. I hate to ask for help. Don't ever want to do it. It is Christmas time. It's time for giving. So if anybody's able to help me, then help me. Before we get into that, though, I want to thank everybody so much for going over to our Patreon page. Can't thank you enough. We're going to give you 20 extra minutes as soon as we're done here. Looking forward to get over there and talking to all y'all. If you want to come join all of us over there on extra 20 minutes, it don't cost you but $5 a month. That's it. $5 or more a month. That's it. That's all it costs for you to come on over and join us.
And just folks,
20 minutes of talking after all that. Some people don't want it, which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you should do it, but if you're like, I want to hear some of that, and you happen to have, I know gas price, everything else. If you have it, we're not asking you to give it. If you don't have it, good Lord, keep it. Make sure it's Christmas time. Good Lord, don't hold on to that money. But if you had a little extra, like I was going to buy so-and-so in your family, my aunt, so, whatever her name is, but she passed on. Now I got this extra $20 or whatever, $5, $2, however much it is. We don't want but $5 of it. That's it, however much it is. So, well, I was going to get her a present and go around to Walmart and get something now, but they just told me she done passed on. I'll listen to them for 20 minutes. It's just an option is all it is. I ain't saying do it. It's just there if you want it. But if you do want it, it's there, and we sure do appreciate it. Helps us keep us doing this. Computers running, the cords plugged up, and the power and all that. We barely can hear each other because you was on the other side of Murfreesboro right now. He ain't here. It's a miracle to me. I used to think on Star Trek you had to talk into a thing on, you hold it in your hand. This, you just put put a headphone on, and a thing on my voice, and there it's done. Like it's almost, if I close my eyes, almost like you in here with me.
A lot of times when we were together, you'd close your eyes in too.
Well, yeah, I did that too. Because now it works the other way too. It works either way. However you want to do it. But thank you, kind of appreciate it. Appreciate all of your support. Really
I did think we were closing in on us getting back together, Jackie. I will admit, last couple of weeks, I was like, pretty soon, it's a new year next year when we get back to it. I think it's time for us to join forces in person. Here we are, back again, Dream Team, Jackie and Dunlap, the Red State Update machine, back together again in person, looking at each other, staring at each other dead in the eyes.
There's no need for it.
And then here come this thing.
Well,
big mess, Omicron.
That too, yeah. That's a real reason. But the other one is like, what's the point? Well, I can't drive over here. I gotta get up and store. I gotta put clothes on. Sometimes I don't want to put clothes on. I know you don't want to put clothes on.
That's true. But I don't have to. I'll come over there butt ass naked.
No, you won't.
I've done it before.
And you didn't get in here, did you? You tried with all your might.
You were like, I'll leave you out on that porch, butt ass naked. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'll run around this whole house and let everybody see. Turn on all the lights. There's me and a bunch of moths out there, naked as.
All right. Just why are you bringing that up? You show your rear end in literal ways and figurative ways, and you manage to do both all at the same time. And I don't need it. I got enough as it is. I got enough on me as it is. And let me go ahead and get this out. I'm asking for help. Is Carl Marable still alive, isn't he?
I don't know what happened to him after he stopped being a Santa Claus judge.
Ted Dendon, is he living?
I'm not sure if either one of them. I could call them.
If you got their number, then you can help me. I don't have to waste everybody's time on here.
Or they're both in the book. I know, because at the end of it, Santa Claus Christmas Court. Christmas Court is a local Murfreesboro tradition they had on. What was it? Public access TV, Jack?
Just local. Yeah, you see it. College kids had it on. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, one of those. I don't know. It's just supposed to be this fun thing. It used to be when Ted Denley's did it and Carl Marable did it. Santa Claus used to use Santa Claus Christmas Court. They always had little Christmas things that people would bicker about, like the tree. When he bought the tree and it was too big, didn't fit in the house right, and he wanted the money back for the tree. You give a tree the right size, things like that. He got a receipt. He didn't have a receipt. She said you could return it whether you have a receipt or not, as long as you have the right card. You put the sale, things like that. And Santa Claus sits up on it. Judge Santa Claus decides. It's like Judge Whitemer's at Christmas. That's what it is. There ain't nothing, or I didn't think anything too serious to deal with. It's just cute and fun and funny for Christmas. And I was honored because it is an honorary thing. It's not like I can, send people to prison or this or that, or at least I didn't think so. I thought you had to have a law degree and all this stuff, and I ain't got none. I thought it was just a cute little thing. Santa Claus said, well, you've been naughty. You get the coal in your stocking. I don't remember what it was. And you have to pay $220 $25, however much it was, whatever it is. I've seen Judge Judy and Judge Wapner enough. I figure I can do that, and I can go ho, ho, ho. I already got the bid, put me in the suit. I'm ready to go. Gingerbread gavel. Looking forward to it. But good Lord, I got sitting up on there, and I ain't ever been conflicted this much in my life.
They're giving you some real tough cases. Huh?
I didn't. I thought and every time Christmas related, they throw it right in your face. How is this Christmas? It's the holidays. Mm-hmm. Visitation, the divorced couple, the visitations. They got, where's the little girl want to spend with the daddy or mother visitation holidays? That's what they're saying. I'm supposed to decide that?
You shouldn't have to decide that. That's not for you to decide.
I know. I don't want to decide, but the court has to, and they put it here in Christmas court, and I don't know why.
Why's it got to do with Christmas?
He's telling me that the mother has a young boyfriend that he don't care for or does this. And then she says, well, he got a substance abuse problem. And I'm supposed to think that's what they say about each other. I ain't giving no names on here. If you want to know names, I guess tune in to Christmas court next week, but I ain't gonna say it on here.
Is this just a commercial for your Christmas court? I remember Christmas court used to. They had a little boy and a little girl. They were like suing each other over a tricycle. Remember that one? That was a good one.
That was a good one.
And then the Murfreesboro Zoo brought in 2 penguins, and they made out like, well, he had to eat the fish of that one. And, Peppermint Penguin wants Joy Noel Penguin I can't remember. Penguins is Christmas animals. There's not a lot of Christmas animals, but penguins, camels, donkeys, because anything at the Nativity and then anything at the North Pole. That's probably it. Puppies and kitties too.
Yeah,
there's a lot of Christmas animals, really, if you think about it. But there are some that, like rabbits, are not Christmas animals.
That's Easter.
That's an Easter animal.
Yeah.
Kangaroo, not a Christmas animal. That's an Australia animal. Doesn't count.
Yeah.
Now, maybe if you live in Australia, that's a Christmas animal, but somehow I doubt it. It's reindeer, polar bears, even penguins, anything in the snow.
All right.
Leopard.
Yeah, all the animals. Yes, I know. You'll throw all of them. I did that. Any animal Christmas, if you put a damn Santa Claus hat on it and earmuffs, there you go. I mean, you get on the computer. You can find anything like that.
But there's some that don't have to wear a hat, and they're Christmas anyway. That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry.
Well, I ain't saying no, but kangaroo, you said I don't think that's Christmas, but if you do, you put a Christmas hat on it, instead of a pouch, put a bunch of presents in the pouch, and a little kangaroo. There you go. Christmas.
Do we have
kangaroo.
any listeners from Australia? Tell us how Christmassy is a kangaroo down there.
I think that's our next Christmas album right there, Christmas kangaroo. I ain't heard that yet. Could be.
I
don't know.
Ho, ho, hop, Christmas kangaroo.
That's the kind of job I won't do, right? Little dumb Christmas songs. I don't want to be sitting presiding on Christmas court. Look, they found a body. Okay. Jan Jelly's.
Mm-hmm.
Jan Jelly's Christmas tree lot. They got the Christmas trees up there.
That's the best one. It's got all the Christmas trees. They found that body there, too.
That's what it was. They found that body there, and they're telling me, do you need the whole Jan Jelly's responsible because the body was found there? What kind of evidence? I don't know. I don't even watch CSI and stuff like that no more. I'm not qualified to make these decisions. I'm just wearing a Santa Claus hat and suit. That's it. This ain't shouldn't be for Christmas. So how has this got anything to do with Christmas? A Christmas tree lot. Excuse me. Hello. Wake up. Christmas tree lot. He only opened it on, every December, November, December. That's it. And then sure enough, this year, they found the body on there, and they're trying to determine whether he's responsible for it or he's not. He said he wasn't there.
You're not the judge, jury, and executioner of a murder case.
I guess I am on Christmas court. I guess some people trust Santa Claus making their decisions more than some judge sitting up on high, but I ain't really Santa Claus because no, it ain't got no young listeners on there. There ain't no Santa Claus. I ain't Santa Claus. It's an honorary position.
I'll take you to Christmas court. That's a lie, and you know it.
Don't even start. Not about that. Look, there's another man. Listen, we had to sit and watch that insurrection footage, CNN insurrection footage, for 3 hours.
What?
3 damn hours. There was a man. He's from Murfreesboro. He broke in the Capitol, supposedly, allegedly, and he had on a Grinch mask. Had on the Grinch, had on the backpack, had on the face. Grinch.
He loves the Grinch.
Well, they said, well, there's your Christmas right there. He went.
Wait, just because the insurrectionists had a Grinch on him, that's Christmas, and you've got to decide the fate of democracy in this country?
Not as far as the Grinch face is concerned, yeah, maybe, but everywhere, that's it. And I'm saying, I can't make these decisions. What did they do? They said, well, we have strong evidence that he attacked a police officer and so on and so on. And I'm like, well, if he got it on video and they kept trying to show it and circle it, it's all grainy and I can't see it. I can see Grinch face. I see that. But then somebody walked in front of it. I don't know. He definitely went into the Capitol, without a doubt. I don't see personally with my eyes, see him attacking any police officer, anybody else, but they say he did. I can't make that decision. If some people getting 5 years, some people getting, the slap on the wrist, go home and, sit down. I can't make these decisions. If he breached the Capitol on his own record, which he did, all the evidence that, watched 3 hours of it, had to watch it over and over and over again. Grinch, here he goes. I see him. He's in there. But I didn't see him hit nobody, hurt nobody. I don't know if he did or didn't. But I ain't in a position to make this sort of decision. It's an honorary position, honorary Santa Claus. I bang on my gingerbread gavel and I say, Christmas this, Christmas that. Here you get the coal, you get on the good list. That's it.
Yeah.
Hand everybody candy cane.
I remember one year it was like, well, me mom wants popcorn, string up popcorn on a tree. I think that's old-timey. I like tinsel from Target.
Yeah.
And then Carl Marables had to decide that case. He said, well, do some popcorn and do some Target.
It's just everything's turned to get more so serious nowadays. It's just I don't know what it is. I thought I'd just go up there and say, you're naughty, you're right. And then he sent over a little elf bailiff, Emily Gaither, walk over, hand him a candy cane. Next. It's more the pictures. You get a picture of Santa Claus sitting up in the court. I ain't qualified to make these decisions. So I'm asking, with all the experience you've had, Ted Dendens, if you listen, if you're still alive, you out there and hear this, please. I can't do this no more. I'm not able to do it. And now they're saying if I leave, it's a breach of contract, and I'll be in Christmas court.
Well, did you take a bite out of the gingerbread gavel? Because I think that's the thing that binds you.
What?
And once you take a bite of the gingerbread gavel, then I think that's makes it all legal. It's like a contract.
I don't think it's real gingerbread. First and foremost, if it is, it's old as hell. They done shellacked around it. If it was real gingerbread one time, I think plastic or something like that. I ain't going to eat that. And I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Nobody told me about eating it. Anytime.
I was thought if I was Santa Claus judge, the first thing I'd do is take a big bite of that gingerbread gavel. It looks so good on TV.
Well, you break your teeth on it because it's got some covering on it. It may have been real gingerbread at one time. It ain't no more. Whatever it is, they put slack plastic something on it. Whatever. It's shiny now.
That's a real shame. I guess it's true what they say. You never meet your heroes. Jackie, I feel for you. That sounds terrible. I mean, I can't believe that you have to come and should have child be reunited.
I was supposed to make these decisions, and I had to walk out. And they said, "Well, we'll just do it, but to be continued. You figure it out. You either get someone to replace it, or we're going to hold you accountable, and you're going to have to be in Christmas court if you leave your duties too early before Christmas. And but I can't make these decisions on these people's lives. I'm not qualified to do it. I sit there and just worried myself to death over it. Couldn't get nothing done, and I left. I just turned around and walked out, and I said, "I'll try to come back and at least get somebody in my place that knows how to deal with this sort of thing." But it's above my pay grade. Mm-hmm. I am not qualified to make these sort of decisions. Didn't go to law school. Didn't know nothing about it. I don't. I can't do it. I can't.
Let me ask you a question. This may help. It's so tough to make these decisions about murder and insurrection and children's safety.
Allegedly murdered. We don't know if that body. Alleged murder. That body not definitely murder. They still CSI in it for that.
And yet, when I came up before you as part of my sponsors this week are the Christmas Criminals, of which I'm a member of the Christmas gang that robs from the rich and gives to the poor people's yard lights and things. When I come up before you, I was standing there for like 10 seconds. You were like, 90 days, Dunlap.
Well, That's because it's on. They had video of that. You and whoever else were running out there. The rest of them had good sense to have a mask on. You sitting there waving.
Wait, I was waving because I was stealing a waving Frosty, allegedly, to give to a poor family, and they didn't want it because it scared the kids. They said, well, first of all, who told you we were poor? I said, well, everybody knows it. They said, well, it ain't. First of all, it ain't a crime this day and age. I'm working 3 damn jobs. Hell, Biden in the White House, nobody catch a break. I said, look, you got to look further. Look to the roots of capitalism. Look where we're at. Everybody's unhappy. Nobody can get a slice of the American pie. I didn't mean to insult you by calling you poor. I said, well, my kids are standing right here. And they're crying because they think the waving Frosty's a ghost. So I was waving. I said, look, no, waving. It's not. They thought he was coming up at like a Scooby-Doo ghost with its arms outstretched and its claw hands. Like, yeah, that's, when you're a kid, you see things. It says, happy birthday, like waving Frosty. I was like, no, look. And then they kept crying and the parents were mad. That's when the cops showed up. I think that's the footage. Is that the footage you saw before you sentenced me immediately to 90 days?
They showed it to you. Hey, you waving like an idiot out there. Yeah. And it still stands. You want to tell me who are all out there with you helping you still waving Frosty? I'll reduce your sentence. But
how much?
Again, not necessarily qualified in this case, but if you're just stealing people's stuff off a lawn, that's pretty bad. 90 days, I give you, how about 60 if you give me some names?
I'll give you one name. There's Mr. Eat My Ass.
All right, him? Shut your mouth. It's just community service. All you're doing is having to ring a bell over here and then, pick up ice skates over there, whatever the hell it is. I don't know all the Christmas. What all they make you do?
Just pick up cans on the side of the road.
Well, that's what they do regular. Just during Christmas.
You have to wear a Grinch. You have to wear all that Grinch paraphernalia.
All right. Well, okay.
And then half of them, I feel like half of them motherfuckers out there on the side of the road get radicalized. And we look like that 1-6 motherfucker. And another guy goes, you know what we ought to do? What he did? He's a hero. I'm like, no, he's not. It's crazy. They're looking. Look here. I looked it up on my phone. He's a hero. They're on Facebook. I'm like, that person's crazy. Posted that. That's my grandma. It's crazy. Please get me off of that, Jackie. I can't do it for 90 days with them.
Well, figure something else. I didn't know they had you picking up cans. You can stand outside of Walmart, ring a bell,
Why didn't you give me that one in? I'd like to stand outside Walmart.
I just pass it on. Once I pick the days, I just figured they going to make you do whatever Christmas thing. They out there, didn't they take your pictures out there? Because that'll be in the paper. All y'all out there.
Yeah, I was waving. I was like, look at me. But I'm afraid I'm going to get thrown the book at me because I'm out there looking like these 1-6ers wearing that Grinch.
That's what they make you wear. He's the one copying y'all as a criminal. It ain't the other way around. He ain't no hero.
At least put him in jail. Don't give him. Let's tell you what. Tell the dad he can see the little girl if he gets her an expensive enough present. Tell the put the Christmas tree lot guy in or lady in jail for murder because those trees are way too expensive, and then the 1-6er under the jail. Give it the high sentence so that people say, well, they finally put one 1-6er in jail for 20 years, and it was Santa Claus munching on his gingerbread gavel in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
I ain't supposed to oversee things like that. Now, look, if I had my preferences, I'd ask Ted Denton to come back to it because he always took it very seriously. He was a serious one. He's a serious one. Carl Merrill made some good decisions, but he was more fun on the light side.
Too much ho, ho, ho.
But these days, you ain't got time for a fun Santa Claus. You ain't got time for Santa Claus to bring cheer. And, you need the Santa Claus that's going to sentence you and make sure you pay your price to, for what you did to society or whatever it is. I don't know. I shouldn't be. Ted Dennis, if you're listening, somebody need to do this. I can't come back. And I guess I'll just have to face the consequences. I may be out there picking up cans with you, Dunlap, because they said, sure enough, if I don't fulfill my duties as judge at Christmas Court or Santa Claus up until New Year, then I'm going to be on the other side of the bench. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but I ain't going to do it. Those decisions, I can't do it. I can't do it. Nope.
It'd be nice to see you in person again, but I'll tell you what, that I feel like every car goes by is breathing Omicron on me if they're not throwing a bottle at me. Sometimes both.